The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
I had this couple in my shul. They were trying to have children for about 7-8 years. Couldn't have kids. They tried all different treatments. It wasn't working. One day, we'll call the husband, we'll call him John, because that was his name. And John is out in a restaurant one day here in Toronto, and he sees this rabbi with a long white beard. He looked like a very holy, angelic rabbi. And they struck up conversation. The rabbi said he's part of this big yeshiva in Israel. He's collecting money to support the yeshiva. So this guy, John, says, you know what, I'm happy to help. Come by my office. Rabbi comes by the office. He says, here, I'm going to write you a check. But he said, before I give you the check, can you give me a bracha? So the rabbi says, what do you want a bracha for? He says, give me a bracha to have children. So this very holy, angelic-looking rabbi says, I'll give you a bracha. By the way, this is one of those stories I'm just telling you that you hear and you're like, yeah. But only because it happened to me, like I witnessed the thing, I could say like, this is, a true story. He says, I'll give you a bracha on one condition. So the guy says, what? He says, I get to choose the name. So he calls up his wife. He's like, Sarah, so I don't know how to explain this. I'm with this rabbi, and he says he can give us a blessing, and that we'll have a baby if he gives us a blessing, but he chooses the name. Do you care if someone else chooses the name? She's like, honestly, I don't care who chooses the name. I just want to have a kid. He says, okay. The rabbi stops, gives him a heartfelt blessing. And he says, the name is going to be Yonatan ben Uziel. Yonatan ben Uziel. Some of you are nodding. They know where the name comes from. It's for another conversation. Yonatan ben Uziel. He said, you're going to have a baby before Hanukkah. It's going to be a boy, and that has to be the name. He says, okay, thank you. Here's the check. Nice knowing you. A few months later, this guy, John, sits down with me. I'm the rabbi, whatever. We have a relationship. He says, I need to fill you in on something. I said, what? And he begins to tell me the story. I said, he says, the due date is in, a couple months. I said, so, what can I help you with? He said, as the rabbi said, we're expecting before Hanukkah, but we're expecting twins. Twin boys. And I just don't know what to do about the name. Because he gave me this one name, Yonatan ben Uziel. Do I do it Yonatan and Uziel? How do I do this? So I call up Rabbi Moshe Weinberger. He's a big tzaddik in New York. He's an expert on names. And he advises him on exactly how to deal with it. He said, this rabbi who told you this story, this rabbi who gave you the bracha, was a serious person. You have to use the name. He tells him how to use it. Use it for one of the children. For the other child, you can name a different name. And I remember when he got up at the bris of his two sons, who are now, 6, 7 years old. I remember he got up at the bridge and he told a story and everybody laughed. What a funny story. In other words, it was so supernatural that it was just unbelievable. Nobody believed it. Those who were on his inner circles knew it was true. Only the Jewish people. We don't live within nature. Our existence defies nature. Not just as a nation, but as individuals. How many times in your life, and I'm talking to the young ladies in the room, I'm talking to the adults as well. I'm talking to the young ladies as well. How many times in your life have you told yourself you can't? How many times in your life have you said to yourself, I'm not this, and I'm not that, I'm no good, and I'm not, and I can't, and I won't, and it's not me, and maybe somebody else. Not smart, not funny, not talented. Not, and I can't. Maybe in nature, you're probably wrong anyway, but maybe in nature you can't. Maybe. But you're a Jew! Jews defy nature! We don't live in the natural world. There is nothing you shouldn't try. If there's something your heart wants and you know it's the right thing and it's a healthy thing, and it's what the Almighty wants from you, then do it! Yeah, but I can't do it. It's not me. No, let Hashem decide if you can't. But a Jew does anything because we defy nature. We have to see that within us, that we have the power. Don't limit yourself by nature. Don't limit yourself by what you think are your deficiencies. You try. Let Hashem do the rest.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org